You're welcome once again. We're talking about future-ready teachers. Thanks for joining us. Today, we are not going to be talking teachers. As you can see, I come as a student and I'm going to be sharing with us my own very experience. So I'm the protagonist on scene here. We are talking education. Education is illumination. It brings light, it enlightens. And there are many things that surround this domain that has handicapped so many. And so I'm going to be talking about my own very personal case and how God saw me through. I don't know how many times you sat for the GCE examination. I don't know if you're still procrastinating, if you should go in for it or not. But I believe that after you must have heard me today, and maybe some other time that anyone is going to come across this message, you would like to go in for that, knowing that with God, everything is possible. So to go straight to the point, I'm someone who loves education. I love going to school. But you know, my background didn't suggest the same. It was counteracting that fact. Given reasons that financially, you know, and I think some spiritual issues too, I must say, yeah. Sometimes you could be laughing at someone who's written the GCE, some have written 6 times, 7 times. You might not understand. And sometimes you wonder, but this person I know is very intelligent. What's the problem? What's happening? In my situation, 12 years back, because you know, I battled with education. Sometimes my mom would struggle with us. We just going to school like that. There will be nobody to assist from left and right, and we just keep forging forward after we lost our dad. And so I struggled and had the ordinary levels. And I think far away from that, with all the struggle and all the battling, I just had to, like, you know, I just kept education aside and I said, let me just, you know, just move on with my life. And other factors were like the people that surround you. Sometimes you could see some manifestations and they'll tell you that education isn't like necessary. So within the space or the gap of these 12 years, I would go to sleep and have a series of dreams, finding myself in different schools. That is, this night I'll be in that school, this night either I'll see myself even in the primary school, in the secondary. I now began seeing myself in the university, and sometimes I'll be writing on the board, sometimes I'll be teaching. And these dreams, they will start, then they will stop. When they will start, I'll be having the impression. But now I wasn't giving into that because within these 12 years, things have happened. Family was already present. Work was already there, and I was looking at myself going back to school to do what, but that love was still there. And now the way God would impress it in my heart, because I know God was the one bringing all those dreams as a Christian, I should know that one and understand. And so the way God would impress it in my heart, it indicates that my destiny or my purpose in life is linked to that. It wasn't just like going to school for some sort of just gaining certificates to have a name, to have a show. That wasn't the case here. And so the dreams continued not until last academic year. I had to take the bull by its horns and I said I was going to go to school. I just shared this with one of few persons, you know. Some people might not really understand what you're going through, except they are the ones wearing the shoes. Because some say, go to a day school so that you gain the experience. But all the responsibilities that surrounded me weren't suggesting that. I had to go to work in the morning and I closed work at 5 p.m. and I had to take care of the family, you know, and other things. So the only option that I was left with was to attend an evening school. So because these dreams left the dreamland, and physically, I began getting physical indications. Each time I passed a school structure, the impression or get a voice from within me, you have to go to school, go to school. So when I began making those inquiries, I just get to know there was an evening school beside me, say a 5-minute walk from where I was. And I would pass there every morning and go to work. I didn't know, probably I didn't give in to that. So one day I decided that I was going to stop when the pressure was still much, when the thing came, I was really so pressed by that, by the experience that I was facing. So I stopped by and then I met with the principal. I met with the principal and I told him I want to come to school. And so he looked at me and said, you say you want to come to school, even if you don't have fee, just come and start on Monday. That was already a positive indication, right? And so there weren't finances, so I had to struggle, and I spoke with one or two persons because I didn't want to make it loud. I don't know, strong from within me. You know, sometimes there are some things God wouldn't want you to just speak. Everybody just know you're going to school. For some reasons, I decided to keep it to myself. Even my own direct family, I mean, except those who were just very close, just inside. No, many didn't know. Many weren't aware that something was going on like at such. So I thank God with the people I met, they supported me financially. I was able to afford books, and you know, I was going in for the advanced level. Remember, I said I've been down for 12 years, and so maybe the system must have changed, the structure of setting and so on, and I didn't go to lower seats. And you know, when September started, I still kept on dragging my legs up right up to November. And November ended when I was going to school. And the principal told me, we're going to write a mock and get ready to write. And to me, I was just laughing, write what? I haven't been to school and so on. But because I wanted to get acquainted, I just told myself, I'm going to write. At least let me get a picture of the exam I'm going to face. So I had less than 7 months to do a crash program. And one of the heavy subjects that God laid in my heart to do was literature. That literature has 12 texts. So those are some of us who do literature now. You would understand texts like Coriolanus, that's voluminous, all the Shakespearean languages, and so I just had to like see. But anyhow, I always took what I was standing on is that God, I'm going to school. You said I should go. I am here to obey, because each time I will go to work, when I'm passing beside that school, I'll just hear a voice. It's like the voice is pulling me, go to school. And it's like the voice will be, you know, gentle, but somehow convincing you. You really know that you have to go to school. And it was to a certain point as if this is very stubborn. This daughter is stubborn. Go to school because he has something to play. And I want to let us know this was the last chance God was giving me. I said the last chance because that school no longer exists, as though it was waiting for me. Like seriously. After this academic year, the school doesn't exist for one or two reasons. It's no longer there. Now, it would have been more burdensome and heavy for me with the other evening schools that were around. The further, this was the nearest and the closest to me. So look at the conditions when God said this to me. I was asking, when I went there, they told me that school starts at 4 p.m. and then I do close work at 5 p.m. And from my house or from my job site to the school, it could just be a less than, let me say, 10 minutes drive. But now, in between this space is something they call traffic. So sometimes I would close work and I'll take close to an hour just to catch a taxi to get to school. So sometimes I'll even get at 7 p.m. So sometimes I'll get a taxi and stop somewhere. I know the traffic is really congested. I will stop there because a pedestrian with you in the car, a pedestrian should have reached before you. And I will rush and enter the class. Sometimes the teachers will just look at me, and I want to thank God to some of the teachers that were there were really amazing. They'll just look at me and they were like, you will make it, you will make it. And now, at this time that God told me to go to school, I had issues with my brain in the sense that I could easily forget things. I couldn't reason things. I couldn't retain. My retentivity was affected. And I was asking myself how I would go to school in this kind of state. But, you know, I just had to, like, God said it, I believe it, and I'm going for it. That's how I took the bull by its horns and I went. And sometimes when I returned home, I said, God, all right, I've forgotten everything the teachers just taught now. So I don't know. But, you know, the following day, I'm back in school, whether I'm late or not. I had to use different strategies, and I think I will not consume them in this very first message or this first video. You're going to journey with me to the part 2, and you get the strategies on how God helped me in respective of all these challenges with my work, with the family, how I could even read. I was really like just wondering how all this could happen. But I want to thank God who was being faithful and who kept to his word and who proved to me that he is the one who put that impression so deep in my heart to go to school. And he backed it, he supplied the money. But somehow that money just came. I mean, I got people who helped me. I got everything. And I got to employ other strategies. So I want to thank all of you. Thank you for listening. I don't want you to miss the part. So you want to know how it happened, right? Because God didn't just speak and I began sleeping. No, I had to do some things. So you don't want to miss the part 2 to get the full of how God did it until my victory. It was a whole celebration, you know. Some were just surprised at how you were going to school, eh? I didn't even want to do what I'm doing now, but I think God really impressed in my heart that no, it's going to bless another person. So it's not too late, right? You're listening to me. It's not too late. Go and register. Don't complain. How is it going to happen? I'm going to work. Not now. Not now. With the evolution, the coming up of Androids and so many other things, you can make it. Thanks very much, and thanks for your kind attention. Thanks for your patience. I will see you in the part 2. God bless you.